Damn it. I was trying to finish chewing.
I was watching you
Before
in the
I-
little
It's like,
window.
yeah, you're not gonna finish that sub.
No. Hello, it's Thursday and my food just arrived like a minute ago. I'm trying to shovel it in my face as fast as I can. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I don't
You
like
deserve
doing
it.
this. Like,
You deserve a dinner.
Yep.
well,
Hello, everybody.
so I tried my best. This one was beyond me. So I got home. I ordered. So Thursday, because of the live, we just kind of, it's like kind of a thing now where we just order food, right? And usually we try to order something that's fairly quick. So tonight we got like
Makes sense.
Jersey Mike subs just because they're usually here in like 30 minutes. Like it's usually the fastest thing we can get, basically.
Nice.
And it's fairly cheap and reasonably tasty.
Yeah.
Well, we ordered that, and and they're like, "Oh, your food's been delivered. Here's a picture," and it was just a black picture. I'm like, "That's not good." So I go look outside the front door. There's nothing there. I'm like, "Well, maybe they put it over by the garage door." So we like do a lap around the house. No, the food's just not there.
Oh my god.
All right. So I'm like, okay, now what? So I click like help, and it's all like, my food never got delivered. And they're like, okay, redeliver. I'm like, sure, try that. And so then the whole thing starts going again. By now it's already like 7:00. And I get a call at like 7:45 from Jersey Mike's like, hey, did you mean to submit a second order? And I'm like, yeah, the first one never got here. And like, oh, okay. So I think they're like withholding it from the delivery person. And I'm like, just give it the food. Come on.
Yeah.
So the food just showed up. And then they
Jeez.
still screwed up the order and it was missing parts of it. And at that point, I'm just like, I don't even care.
Wow. So
That
you
dude
know
ate
the
your cookie.
the
That-
driver definitely ate it. He just took a
Yeah.
picture of his lap
Yeah.
in
he
the
was
car.
like, it smells pretty good. He like put his thumb over the camera. It's like, click.
Oh, I have a UPS driver that like he's an old crotchety guy. I've talked to him
Nice.
a lot. He's awesome to talk to, but he will like blatantly, as you know, they're supposed to take their pictures. It's verified. He will just like set your package down as he's walking back to the truck. Just take a picture of it, like his foot, and like that's helpful.
He
Thanks.
just messes with you.
So we had a car that was purchased and financed, and then the bank mailed us the check, right? And so they FedExed it overnight.
Oh no.
They tell us, hey, here's the FedEx tracking number. It's coming tomorrow. Next day, doesn't come in. So we're like checking the tracking. It shows it's been shipped, but it doesn't show where it is. We're like, huh, that's unusual. Another day goes by, no check. Another day goes by, no check. So we call the bank, like, we shipped it, we swear. And we're like, huh, yeah, sure. So we check FedEx, and like finally, they're like, we call FedEx or whatever, and like, oh, yeah, we found it. It's in Georgia. The bank is in Dallas.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Somehow it went from Dallas to Georgia. And so they
I got
found
that
it.
somewhere.
And they ship it back to us, and it finally makes it there like 2 days later. And they delivered it on I want to say it was a Saturday or a Sunday. It was on the weekend. And so they deliver it, and then they show a picture of it, and it's laying on the ground in the picture. And I'm like, it's like laying on asphalt. And I'm like, that doesn't look right. Because we have like that mailbox right by our front door, right?
Yeah.
So I go to the shop, and I'm looking for the check, and I can't find it. It's not in the mailbox. It's nowhere near the front door. I'm like, I bet you the wind blew that son of a bitch away, and I'm going to have to call the bank. I finally found it on the asphalt driveway in front of the other building.
Oh shit.
Whoa.
Like, and it somehow was still there. I was
Wow.
like, all right, well, it's a miracle the check's still here. But like, what idiot FedEx person drives up to our shop and thinks that's a good place to put it? You know, like in the middle of the driveway, 60 feet from any sort of reasonable door.
Especially
like,
when
that's
you know
literally-
it's flagged in his computer, like this was lost.
They literally just drove up and then like threw it out of the truck and then like
Yeah.
drove away.
I mean,
Ugh.
I've never delivered like that, and maybe they go through hard times, but man, our mail people, we're constantly getting neighbors' mail, and neighbors are getting our mail. Like it's
Mhm.
every week we're texting each other, hey, I got your mail. It's just bad.
Yep.
That
There was-
happens occasionally.
Yeah, the neighborhood I moved from in New Mexico had all in the same like square mile. There would be like Roosevelt Road, Roosevelt Place, Roosevelt Lane,
Oh,
and they
no.
always screwed that shit up.
I can
Oh,
see. I mean, that's just dumb, right?
sense. But that was just like, who designed this shit? Like,
So our neighborhood has 2 streets, 2. And frequently there's another address with the same house number as mine. So I get their crap all the time. They get my crap all the time. So the worst I ever saw was when I went to buy my used electric lawnmower for the shop, I go to the dude's house and they live on there's a 90-degree intersection, and there's 3 houses at that intersection with the exact same street number.
oh no.
Because the street, one direction is one road and another direction was another road, and I was like,
See.
what idiot thought that
Yeah.
this was a good idea? And so I'm like, I don't know which house this guy lives at. And so I'm just kind of walking around, and finally he comes out. He's like, it's this one. Hi. He's like, yeah, we never get packages delivered right. I'm like, no kidding.
Yeah.
They need to just put their names in the mailbox.
Right.
Uh,
At that
that's
point, you're just
funny.
like, I give up.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry about
Oh.
all that. That was
Hey, I saw your first donut in the cul-de-sac.
that's right. Yeah.
Ooh.
Nice.
missed that
Have you
one.
done any more after that video?
Not since then. We kind of were waiting for it to like get cleared up a little bit because it's so dusty. You're kind of worried about the front
Yeah.
wheels pushing and you end up in the dirt.
True.
That'd be really great, like to wreck one of our cars on
Oh.
our street.
I mean, as
Yeah.
long as you catch it on camera, it'll be good.
That's
Right.
true. Although then you can't really claim on insurance, and
True.
True.
I am eating a Jersey Mike sub.
Nice.
It's sort of delicious, I guess. Well, anyway, it's been a crazy week. Let me tell you, we had everything kind of go wrong in a very
Uh-oh.
short period of time. But like, it's really weird because at the same time, so much is going right that like you're like, all right, I can deal with this wrong stuff. Like, it's not one of those where it's like everything's wrong and everything sucks. It's kind of like everything's going wrong, but so much is going right that I'm going to tolerate the wrong stuff and just kind of roll with it. So,
Nice.
my video that I edited for Saturday is my kind of day in the life series, and I'm doing a little bit of an experiment, which is I did a full week. So I did it from last Thursday to this Thursday today, and I edited it today. And I'm trying to maybe make that my cycle is go Thursday to Thursday and then edit on Thursday and release on Saturday, right? So you're only getting a 2-ish day delay, and you get to see where we're at kind of in our shop.
That's pretty cool.
So because it's a full week, it's 45 plus minutes long.
Damn.
So it took me all day today to edit. Like from the minute I got to the
Oh.
shop till when I got home today, it was just editing. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good strategy. I think if people watch a high amount of percentage of it, like a lot of watch time, YouTube's been rewarding watch time really well. So I'm hoping that will be a thing. I don't know. It's an experiment. Everything's an experiment, right?
It's worth a shot. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and dude, with the tariffs, I can't afford maple syrup. You can.
Stick
I'd
that
have to take out a
Aunt
second mortgage.
Yep.
Sorry, I had to throw
The
it
syrup
out there.
budget's out the window.
Yeah,
I had
syrup.
to
Dude,
text my wife. I was like, "You sure you want these eggs? They're
I literally gave up eggs, not so much because of the price, because I'm kind of like, this is stupid. Like, I have a mental block where it's like over $1 an egg.
right." I'm with you. Like, it's the principle. If you're used to paying something for years, and it
Yeah.
goes up, it's like I don't want to pay it.
Yeah,
Even if it's $3, not
Yeah.
paying.
Have you seen all the positive stuff regarding Carrier Motors lately? Have they come good or? No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
They're
And
paying
Pay
someone?
DuPont for any article.
I would not
Hmm.
believe any of it. I think these are my opinions, but in my opinion, from the top down, they have a culture that is not what I would want to deal with. Not
Fair enough.
I mean, sort of, not really, kind of. Yeah, actually, yes. Now that I think about it, we've had multiple people that ordered exhausts and stuff, And so we're like, we have no idea what, if any, taxes you're going to be assessed when it gets imported into the country.
Yep.
And so our policy's always been, we don't collect any import tariffs or duties because we don't know what they're going to be and we can't control it. And now people are now people are actually asking about it before placing an order.
Wow.
And the problem is we're like, we don't know. You know, I can't tell you what it's going to be. I can tell you what we've historically paid for certain things. You know, like if you ordered a Klein exhaust previously, usually it was a 2.5% tariff. That's the only, like, I have no idea what it's going to be right now.
Yep.
So, Josh is running late. He had a bunch of stuff to do. It's like I said, it's been crazy at the shop. But at least that's from the business perspective. It's been interesting. Eggs are flowing like wine here.
Enjoy
God
life.
damn you and your eggs.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I went to Walmart and spent $100 and didn't even get any eggs. Dude, my grocery bill. Why we shouldn't be bitching about this. This isn't car related.
Yeah.
But I could go on and on about my grocery bill because it's literally double
Yeah.
what it was. I don't know.
It's
2-3 years
depressing.
ago. It's every time we go grocery shopping, I'm like, this is
I know.
absurd.
I'll get back. I'll look in the fridge after we stock everything. I'm like, there's barely anything here, and we spent $200.
Yep.
Yeah.
The hell?
Mm-hmm.
Twice
It's
a week.
crazy.
All right. Here's one. Would you offer police test drives?
For
I
what?
mean-
Thank you for what? Oh, just thank you for your service.
I mean, sure, probably. If depends on the officer.
Yeah.
I mean, if they come and demand it.
Yeah.
If they
That's
demand it,
different.
actually, if they demanded it, I'd be like, get off my property.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but like, no, you ain't gonna make demands of me on my property. But if they're all chill and stuff, yeah.
Didn't you guys go to the school or something to? I saw a picture. Like
Oh,
you brought
yeah,
the cars to a school.
Yeah. So it was there was a teacher who reached out to the car community on Facebook and said, hey, I've got a student who's kind of feeling down about their interests in life are cars, but their family and whatever isn't into cars, so they're just kind of feeling left out or whatever. And so they said, maybe we can get them a couple cool cars to show up, and the person really likes Ferraris. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I know a
He
guy.
knows people.
I got a guy. So I messaged him and I was like, how many Ferraris do you want? And he's like, well, let's just bring like one or two. And I'm like, okay, well, I can definitely do that. So anyway, ends up being like 50, 60 plus cars show up.
It was good turnout.
It was
Oh.
a pretty interesting turnout. And they really surprised the kid and he was super happy and it was very neat. And it was really nice. So
Sweet.
that was cool. I'm glad. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, you went, Tyler, right? You bring your
Yep.
car?
Yep.
I don't know where I saw a picture, but it was just a big group of people.
Yeah. We're the 458 pulled in behind us, completely not attached to us. And we were
Unrelated,
hoping
yeah.
he would park next to us. We'd have all three generations of that platform, but
Yeah.
he parked somewhere else.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, damn it.
Dang it. Yeah, I'm sad if my kid isn't into cars, which so far he's not really, but I mean he's only 3.5, so who knows?
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, who knows? But let's see. Well, we already got 150 people here. So
Yeah.
Wow.
wow. I guess we could talk about my topic for the night because I think this one could go for a little while.
And it's
So-
kind of related to this comment.
752K for what?
The speciality that sold on Bat today.
There was a really?
A Perta?
Nope. I don't think it was.
Oh,
on there.
someone mentioned something about that. Was that today or
Oh.
yesterday?
It was sold today, I think, or maybe last night. But
Well, what the hell is going on? I'm not up to snuff with all this stuff.
it was a 945 mile, just speciality.
Okay, so it's 945 miles. Well, that's
Yeah.
why.
752. Holy cow.
Some shift in the market.
So here's my theory. Okay. Here's what, because I'm trying to buy Ferraris every day. But pretty much literally, I'm looking for Ferraris and contacting owners and making offers almost every single day.
Not many people get to say that. I'm trying to buy Ferraris every single day.
Right. And that shows you how many we end up with, because we've bought one in the last 2 months. And prior to that, we've only bought one other 3 months. So so this is my theory and my experience, is that there are very few good cars on the market right now. And there's a lot of cars that are very overpriced. And what's happened is all of the good, cheap cars have been snapped up. And so the only thing left are the more expensive cars that have been chilling on the market for literally a year.
Yep.
And so guess what's going to happen? There's nothing left. You're going to have to pay more. So my theory is, I think Ferrari prices in specific models are just about to go up a substantial amount. And I feel this pressure in the market suggesting that it's going to go up, because more and more often people are not willing to negotiate and they're holding firm on their prices. And when I talk to them, they're like, yeah, I've already got like 4 people that made offers on this car. And, you know, I'm making my offers closer and closer and closer. And they're still like, yeah, I've already gotten higher offers. I'm like, really? For that turd? You know, like,
Yeah.
wow, someone wanted to offer that much on that car? What's wrong with them? So,
Huh.
I mean, just right now, I'm dealing with a consultation client who has been looking for a 430. He's sent me like quite a few cars to look at. We finally got one that we thought was priced pretty good, but it was low option, but it was reasonable miles, not very good option, but it looked like you can tell when you look at these so much, you can kind of tell which ones are going to be like a better example than others, just by the way that, like, you can see certain things in the pictures, right? And it's a gut feeling, but like I look at this one, I'm like, this one's gonna be a clean car, right? You can just kind of tell.
Yep.
So I'm like, well, it's still like $5,000 more than I think you should pay. So I'm like, all right, well, so I call the dealer up, you know, talk about the car for a while, and he kind of confirms my suspicions, like talking about the maintenance history, talking about this stuff. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be a good example. So I'm like, all right, well, you know, I'll offer you this. And he's like, oh, no. He's like, I've already gotten offers at this price, which was way above what I offered.
Jeez.
And was already above the $5,000 less than what I thought offered. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have it sold in the next 24 hours or 48 hours. I'm like, yep,
Jeez.
I think you're right. So I got him down like $1,000. That's it.
Wow.
And I'm like, crap. So I go back to the client and I'm like, hey, I only got him down $1,000 and he's not budging. And he's like, well, you can't try harder, or, you know, like kind of like that sort of thing. I'm like, dude, he ain't budging.
Yeah.
Like, this is the market. Like,
yeah.
I hate to say it, but you should have bought about a month ago.
Well, it's
So-
funny. Someone, I don't know if he wants me to say his name here. Someone that was trying to egg me on to buy the 48 made a bet that said, well, if you buy one, I'll buy one.
Okay.
I was like, oh, don't take that bet.
Right.
And John's a witness. And so he keeps sending us like cars he's looking for now. He's like, damn it, now you're gonna make me buy a fucking Ferrari. And it's all the cars that were on the top of my list a year ago.
Yeah.
That
6 months a year.
disappeared. Yeah, disappeared off the market. And they're all back. Some of them are at the same price, some of them say call for price. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they transacted and now they're being sold again or what's going on, but
It's strange. So where was it? Someone asked what models are going up. So right now we're having an almost impossible time finding 430s and 458s specifically. I feel like there's still a decent number of 360s, but even those, I think 360s are lagging behind by like 3 months. So like here's just my take on
Pick
it.
up your
If you-
360 now, right?
Yes, 100%. Because there's some that are really cheap, like cheap on the market right now. Like you can buy a good clean 360 for like 85 grand right now. I don't think that's going to last long because the few of them that are available are going to get snapped up in the next couple months. And then the only thing left are the ones that are listed at $125,000. That's my feeling. But 488s, there's still a decent supply.
Yeah,
But
like
it's
40.
dwindling. It's getting closer and closer. And again, the prices that are available are inching up. And then F8, same thing. They're just creeping up. Like it's just really strange. Like there's just like when I looked, there was less than 100 430s on the market in the United States. And I'm like, whoa, that's really low. Like that's just not much. So yeah,
No idea what's causing this.
I don't know if people are hanging on to their cars. Now, here's another really strange thing is, and again, this is all anecdotal. I don't have like facts to back it up, but we're getting more interest in modification calls. So people calling us to modify their cars they have. So I feel like the last time that happened was like 4 years ago. So like 4 years ago, people were banging down the door to get exhausts, suspensions, carbon fiber parts, whatever, because no one wanted to sell their cars, right? And the prices were kind of coming down at that time, and then they halted, and then they shot up briefly. Now, granted, COVID came along too, and that kind of distorts all the data. But we're, like I said, anecdotally, we're getting a few more calls of people asking for exhaust modifications and stuff like that. So I feel like it's kind of like the dam's about ready to burst.
This could be a part of it too.
Wow.
That's a good point. Like people bought high in the big boom in COVID, and
Right? Yeah, they don't want to sell it because, well, I'm stuck with this car.
it's free money at a 1% loan or whatever. So who cares?
Well, if you bought it way back then, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So you wouldn't buy a 360 now close to retail in the 85 to 90 grand range and sit on it for a few months to see what it does? I don't know. So I think, first of all, don't ever buy any of these cars buying it to speculatively make money. I think that's a horrible idea because you're still paying insurance for it. It could catch on fire. It could get scratched or dinged or whatever. I mean, it's a terrible idea for an investment. But, and the second thing is, I think a few months is not long enough for anything to really change. So you got to look at it from like multiple years. But I think if you paid 85 grand for a 360 today, in 2 years ish, would you be doing pretty good? I think so. I feel so. Like the 360s seem to be the current for a bargain, right? Because everything else looks like it's about to go up, and 360s have kind of been trailing and holding. And it, like I said, there's still a few of them out there that are priced pretty good, but it's getting thinner and thinner. So I don't know.
Yep. See, Mark says the same thing. Seeing 360 spiders creep up.
Yeah.
COVID prices.
Yeah. I didn't see the 599 on BAT. I don't really shop on BAT because it's not a good place for a dealer to buy a car and make money on, right? Because actually BAT's like the enemy of dealerships. Because I actually any online auction is a horrible place as a dealer to sell cars, in my opinion, because if you don't sell a car, then it's publicly stated what value that car did not sell at, and that's the price everyone wants to pay for the rest of that car's life for eternity. So anytime someone brings us a car to sell or buy from them, if it's sold on BAT recently or didn't sell on BAT recently, like that's the best. Someone wants to sell us a car. We give them a number. They don't like our number. They put it on BAT. It doesn't sell. They bring it back to us. And now they want it at the number that we offered. But the number we offered is like higher than bat got it to or whatever. And so we're like, no, like
Yeah.
now we need it less than that bat number because that's what everyone's going to call and say.
Yep. Man.
So, someone on the Instagram said that they bought a Mint 456. Price on them really haven't changed in 20 years. Yeah, I feel like the 456 is just kind of they're kind of on their own little like arena.
What do they hover at? Low hundreds?
Right around 100 plus or minus a bit, depending on auto and condition and miles.
Like
I mean,
360 basically.
Does that apply to the other V12s, or is it just like are they pricing differently? I guess is the question.
No, like 550s for a while were below 100, and now they're like 200.
Dang.
Because everyone was like, it's a manual, and the prices shot into the sky. But it's funny because like the 575s, you can still find 575s for like 100 and a quarter, which is a screaming deal. So, yeah. Oh, really? The Speciale was bought by a dealer?
Man,
that's a big gamble, man. Paying that much plus fees for a Speciale that they're going to try and turn around and sell.
Yeah, well, curious to see what they list it for.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's probably one of these money laundering dealers, and they're just going to put it in their back room at like $1 million and wait until the prices get to $1 million. Because, I mean, I can almost guarantee if they throw it in the Ziploc bag and keep it perfect condition for 4 years or whatever, they would. Oh, is Merlin? Okay.
Damn, this guy was offered 140. Would you just? I would take that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'd dump that car.
Holy crap. 20K. You have 20K miles on it, and someone offered 140. Still. Oh my god.
I mean, does it matter if it's the last off the production line? Like, is that in Ferrari world? Does that mean anything?
I don't know.
For the special cars, yes. So the one collector in North Carolina, I think it was North Carolina, or was it Tennessee? They had bought every special car that was the last one off the production line for like 25 years. And then there was a tradition. There was always a yellow car, and it was always signed by all of like the main people. And so that was pretty special. But I mean, I don't know about like the normal Ferraris, but jeez.
I gotta take this question, Jocko. You mean baby season, not racing season?
Oh, you can take the year off?
No. Well, I'm gonna attend any and all racing events that I can. I'm thinking about renting because I have a Miata, but it's in a lower class than the regular spec Miata class. It's a showroom stock Miata, so it's more stock than the other Miatas. I'm thinking about renting certain weekends to dip my toes in that class, and then so that next year, the following year, I can decide if I want to move my car to that class.
That'd be cool.
So a couple months, I'll attend any and all races that I can, but probably not the first few.
Interesting. The 360 CS has been holding like at the same price for 3-4 years now. Seems like they're all right around $300,000.
That's crazy.
Like they haven't budged. It's been really weird. So, someone on Instagram asked, "How about McLaren values?" I'll be honest, I don't watch them nearly as much because we don't really pursue McLarens from the dealership perspective. If we stumble across one that's a screaming deal, we'll consider it, but they're just too risky in our opinion. We just don't want to deal with them.
Well, let's look. In September, 600 LT was like 219. So let's see what they are now.
I've seen it, dude. There was a 600 LT that was not a salvage. Nothing wrong with it. Sold for like 150 the other week. I know. I told Josh to buy it since his 430 was sold. I'm like, dude, just buy that thing. He's like, yeah, I don't know.
All right, nationwide.
This is partly true. The maintenance costs on Scuds and Challenge Rallies definitely are higher than like Speciale and Pistas. Dude, shut the fuck up. Go away. God.
I didn't even notice you eating.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna put user in timeout. You can go away. God, shut
Nice.
up. I'm sorry that I don't have a lifestyle that allows me to eat at my whim before the live stream. Like, if you have a problem with that, like, you can just go away, dude.
Yep.
Sorry.
Hopefully it was a joke, but they're going for anywhere from looks like 185 to people still holding that at 280 listing. So they've come down since September.
Yeah, they're definitely down. I mean, McLaren's just generally the problem with McLaren's. There's no historical like precedence to know where they bottom out. When do they ever come back up? Like, so far, McLaren's, other than the F1, only depreciate. There's no McLaren's I'm aware of that have gone down, flattened out, and then come back up.
Not without the temporary spikes. Yeah. Like COVID drove stuff up. The 720 prices went up when the 750 was announced because people didn't like it. But
Briefly, but now they're still
briefly.
coming down.
Yep.
I mean, so like overall, the trend is down, right?
Yeah.
So where do they bottom out? Like, at some point, it's going to bottom out and they'll come back up. I would assume, because
Have to.
I mean, when you start seeing 12Cs for like 75 grand, you're like, oh my god, like, what the? This is so much car for the money. But then again, you still got to deal with the maintenance. But you know, okay.
Yep. It does say something though, and the equivalent year 458 is 250, 270, and that car's 70.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I remember when they first came out, like they were both about the same price.
Yep.
And there's a pretty big gap there now.
They're great to drive. It's just
They are.
everyone's afraid of them for good reason.
Yeah. We've had two Shelby GT500s, and I love those cars. They are one of the best cars under $100,000 that you can buy today, in my opinion. I think they are phenomenal cars. Absolutely love it. Just ridiculously good cars. And people are like, man, the TCT is no longer manual. It's like, shut up, dude. It's awesome. It is so fun. Like, I'm sorry, it's a crap load of horsepower, and it gets squirrely as hell, so that's fun. And they actually have really good handling. So,
Yep.
Do you think Aventadors will go down? I mean, they have, but the problem with the Aventadors are they've made so many different versions of it. It's kind of hard to know because it's like siloed into each version. It's like the regular old Aventador, they have depreciated substantially. Like a 2012 to 2014 Aventador, you can get for like $300,000 to $400,000. So they're down, but they're not down crazy, right? Like they're not like the older and other Lamborghinis that devalued to like 1/3 of their value or one quarter of their value. So it's not doing the same thing. Like the Murcielagos, right? The Murcielagos are what? They were, I should say. Now they're creeping up, but they were for a while like 1/4 of their original price.
Man.
Wait, what? A converted Mercy that crashed near us? Oh, do tell, because I'm pretty sure I know who would have that car.
Yeah, who was driving? Is the
Oh, is there a
question.
video of it?
Yeah, send Dan info at sales.
Yeah.
Dan, you need to hold a crystal ball session and charge people for these questions.
Yeah.
I
mean,
should start eating beef jerky and beer.
oh god, yes.
Snapping to a Slim Jim, belching and stuff. Yeah.
All right, what 25-year-old Ferrari would you buy? Like, I don't recommend anyone import an old Ferrari into another country, but
Oh, so no later than 2000.
John
I
Stradale?
mean, you could do a 360. Then they started in 99, right?
Yeah. When did the
I would
CS
probably-
start?
The CS
Like-
wasn't until 04, I think.
Ah,
or
shoot, okay.
Yeah. So you got a little bit to go on that. I mean,
Yep.
the problem is 360 is going to be the most reliable Ferrari you're going to be able to buy that's pre-2000.
Yeah.
Well, you could buy a 550.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Those
That'd
are pretty
that's
reliable.
probably the best
too.
answer. Yeah.
That's not bad. There you go. If you want to be 12, get the 550. But
Two solid
I feel
options.
like the 360 would be the best option in that case. I mean, the 355s are awesome, but if it's going to be difficult for you to find servicing availability and stuff, I feel like the 350 or 355 is going to be a challenge to own.
Yep.
You definitely need to have a shop that you trust to own one of those.
I can speak on this. I've seen them anywhere from $6,000 to $15,000 a year.
15.
My God.
Oh, damn. That is.
You didn't have it. You didn't have any of that, did you?
No, I don't
You
have
just-
any
You
warranty.
just paid that and more through service.
So on Instagram, someone asked, "Is this the market correction that will bring prices down to pre-COVID values?" And I'm saying no. I think prices are just about to go up. So it's the supply is not meeting demand right now, and
Well,
so
and if-
that
To go back to the tariff talk, like if there's tariffs on imported European cars, the ones already
Well,
here are going to be
so-
more valuable.
even without that, let's just ignore that for a second and pretend that those aren't going to exist.
Yeah.
The newest cars coming out, the prices of those just keep going crazier and crazier, right? Like
That too.
every time Ferrari, Lamborghini, McLaren produce a new car, it goes up by like $25,000 to $50,000 just for the base MSRP. So the cars themselves are just going up, and people aren't wanting the newest stuff as much as a lot of the older stuff because they're appreciating that this generation of cars, like I'm going to say like the 90s through the 20 teens are kind of like peak supercar era where there's a huge variety of very interesting cars that are, I'm going to say, more beautiful than a lot of the cars made today. They're nowhere near as fast, but they're also maintainable. They're, there's a lot of data out there on how to deal with them and stuff. So, and they're kind of have that analog sweet spot where a lot of people are like, that's the experience I want. I want the driving experience. I don't care if it's the fastest thing on the world. Like I reviewed the 355 we just got this week, and I had the biggest shit-eating grin on my face the entire time.
Wow.
And it's not fast.
Yeah.
It is not that great at handling. The brakes suck. And I enjoyed the crap out of it because I'm sitting here revving it up to 8,500 RPMs, listening to this engine scream right behind me. And I'm not really going that fast, and I'm not really breaking the law, and I'm not worried about going to jail. So I'm just having a grain.
I know.
like,
What
grand
more could you want?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just sitting here like, this is awesome. I love this car. I mean,
And they will never make them like they used to.
never could. It would never meet today's safety standards or anything like that.
Yep.
No.
All right. Hugh's got an interesting question or point.
Oh,
Are
your
the
cat just
buyers
Who?
a cat? Okay.
Oh.
Not
just
mine.
bringing your cookie?
You bastard.
He's gonna shit on your lawn. I
Yeah.
just had a cat shit on my
Right.
lawn.
Definitely a crap on my lawn.
And then
Good
your
thing
dog's
car's
gonna go
on.
after it.
Oh, I love it. So are buyers going to go away either from people being disinterested in cars or no money or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, if the prices go up enough, then it'll deter buyers, right?
Yeah.
So that would be the hard part. Is I guess that's the part of the equation that we don't know yet. So we're seeing demand currently is exceeding supply, right? So it's going to drive prices up. But will demand drop as prices go up? And if the economy changes, then absolutely it could shift everything, right? Because then the number of people who can afford the cars might go down dramatically. So there's some, macroeconomic stuff that I don't understand because I don't have an economics degree that could absolutely destroy my entire hypothesis. But right now, what I'm seeing is certain Ferrari models are absolutely about to go up in price, in my opinion.
So you're saying I finally bought a car in the right window.
You might have, honestly.
I'm still
You
working
might
on
have.
it, brother.
I mean, I accidentally bought my 599 was absolute bottom of the market unintentionally. My
And your
458
430.
my 430 was not at the bottom.
Oh, it wasn't?
missed
Or
it.
what,
I missed
which was your 458?
My 458 was off by about 6 months, but my 430 was off by about a year.
Hmm.
But it was unintentional, right? So
Buy and hold, I guess.
well,
If you're
I mean,
willing to buy and hold, you can wait until
maybe
you
it
know.
depends. Would I buy a real rebuilt title 430? Depends on the 430, how it was, why it was crashed or rebuilt, or I would not buy a flood car.
I mean, you already
Generally.
did buy a salvage
458
Scud. No, Scud.
and a Scud. That's right. I had that. I had
In your
no
personal
problem.
name, right?
Yeah, I bought that with my own money. That was.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have kept that car longer.
Have
That
you
was a
heard
wonderful-
have you heard how that car's doing?
The dude who bought it for me still has it,
Nice.
Cool.
as far as I'm aware. So I don't know.
Nice.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, we are getting so like again, I don't have like solid data to back this up, but I can tell you like we get certain things happen, and when there's like more frequency of those things happening, it to me suggests things are about to happen or change or whatever. And usually it's a pretty strong indicator. And like one of the other things I'm seeing is we're getting a lot of emails of people saying, "Hey, I'm looking for a fill in the blank." And usually like when that coincides with more phone calls and when we get cars, the number of people interested in the car and how quickly the car sells, all of that combining suggests right now that there is strong demand.
Mhm.
Which again, I
No,
I
I
don't
mean,
have
but you're on the ground floor. You're closer to it than everybody, than all the average people.
Yep.
So
Right.
these are things that you're seeing that could very well happen.
these are my lived experiences right now. Like because again, I am literally trying to buy Ferraris every day.
Yep.
I make offers on Ferraris almost every single day of the week, every single day of the year. Which is why I only end up with like 1 in 50 that I make offers on. Actually, I probably look at a crap ton. I only make offers on a handful, and of those offers, very few end up even being deals. And of those deals, the number we actually purchase is even thinner.
Do you guys
So-
have a spreadsheet of cars you've offered, like with their VINs and what you offered?
No, I should. I mean, like, there's so many things I wish I had been a better doobie about and kept good records of, because it would be really cool data.
Yep.
If you've met me, you know I am not type A.
Mhm.
I am very type B. So like that to me is just like torture to do that sort of boring crap. I'm like, no, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
At the same time, I love that data, but I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I'm just not that kind of person. So yeah. See, yeah,
No questions.
my
Anyone
opinion,
can buy an ad.
in my opinion, do not buy cars from them.
Yeah.
Ever. Oh, you're selling your Isetta? Man, I want to take that thing for a spin.
It could be yours.
Interesting. There's an 08 430 Spider factory gated 6-speed for sale at Elite. Yeah, I know Elite.
Yeah.
But I probably don't want to buy anything from them because it's probably too expensive.
Yeah.
Historically,
He's held that 675 LT for how long? Like he's not going to sell you wholesale stuff.
no. He's been around forever, and I don't think that's his primary business. So I don't think he's in a rush to sell anything. That's the problem. Is I feel like a lot of dealerships that are owned by extraordinarily wealthy people, they don't care how long the cars sit there. They're not like us, where like this is my living, and so I have to sell a car in order to be able to pay my mortgage, right? Those guys don't. Their mortgage, they don't have a mortgage.
Yeah.
They
They own that building. Yeah.
They own everything. So they're just doing it because it's fun. And so they can sit there and throw a crazy high price on it, sit on it for 4 years, and then it eventually sells and like, oh, cool. Like whoever bought that Speciale. They're going to, like I said, they're going to throw it in a Ziploc bag in the corner, let it sit for a few years, and eventually they'll sell it for $1 million.
Yep.
Jocko. 13 horsepower. That sounds like my Miata. Nice.
Oh shit, dude! My lawnmower literally has 25 horsepower.
Nice. It's a race.
That's nice.
Oh man. Can you define a number amount to be extraordinarily wealthy?
There's a math equation in there somewhere. I don't know.
Right. I mean, it depends where you live.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I usually, and it's not even necessarily a number. I think it's more of like what your current wealth situation enables you to do. You know, like if you're in a position where you don't ever have to really worry about your banking and you can just literally be like, I would like to buy this car and it's not a concern, that's probably pretty extraordinarily wealthy.
Yeah.
And this is true. Yes. The answer is always more money than what you have. Oh, best performance all season tire? Who wants all season tire?
Yeah. That's a contradictory sentence. Performance in
Yeah.
all season is
Yeah. I mean, I honestly wouldn't be able to tell you because I haven't tried many all season tires. I mean, pretty much I've tried most summer tires and I can tell you very strongly I like the PS4S's.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, I think they make it all season, right? All
Yeah,
season
I
tires
had-
for it.
I had Michelin all seasons on a few. I've had a few of those, but I never really got to experience those tires in like track conditions or whatever, like only street driving, which again is pretty much what all seasons only for. But you know, you're saying performance.
Yep.
I don't know. In real life, how to get an honest 458 Spider. You have a pile of money that's about $225,000 to $250,000, and you find one that's good for sale.
Well, we've been looking because we're trying to get John to buy one.
A 458?
458 Spider. There's only black and white cars on the market right now.
Dude. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. There's
There's
demand
one or
is-
two red ones, and they're insanely priced, or they're zero option cars. And it's like, well,
Yep. That's what I'm telling you, man. Dude, you realize that 458, the red one we sold, the second red one we sold recently, we got emails about that car today. Like, oh man, was that thing already sold? Yeah. Oh, damn it. I can't find anything. I'm like, yeah, should have bought it a month ago. Too late. Yeah.
Yep. And
Oh yeah, and the carbon seat cars are just like always gone. No, that's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying. You look at what's out there right now. There's not much out there. There's a couple of very extremely high priced cars, and there's a couple low priced cars, and pretty much all the lowest priced cars are like basic bitches or like have accident histories or just something that's like, I don't want that car, or it's an awful color or whatever. And so I'm telling you, that's going to drive the prices up.
yep.
Yep, Jocko's got beautiful carbon seats.
Yes. Especially in the 458. The 458 carbon seats are really good. And in the 488 and the F8.
Yeah, they're all the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
same
basically are
ish.
the same with minor tweaks. Yeah. Now, I want a 458 Grigio. Grigio what? There's like 80 Grigios.
Yeah.
Which gray? Because there are a lot of grays. But yeah. On Instagram, how's the F8 market looking? It's seeming to be pretty solid. So there's actually still quite a few F8s on the market, but it's getting thinner. So I don't know. My 458 had the Daytona seats, did not have the carbon seats.
Tyler's, what does yours have? 488.
Carbon. Yeah. carbon gold
Black
rays.
and red inserts.
Yeah. Oh,
And
another
red stitch.
question from Instagram. Hey, hi guys. I currently have a manual 360 Spider. Consider switching things up. Would love to have multiple fries, but can only have one for now. I'm in the same boat. Is it worth moving up to a 430?
Well, I mean, F1 or 360 or manual.
I mean, you're probably. I mean, the manual is going to be a lot more unless you do a converted car. But I mean, if you can afford it, I think you'll like a 430 better. Generally, like the extra power is noticeable.
I've
They're-
never driven a 360, but I can't imagine it feels that different.
The power is substantial.
Okay.
You can definitely tell the power difference. The handling is like marginally tighter, but it's pretty much got the same suspension configuration. The braking's better because it's got bigger discs and stuff like that, especially if you have carbon ceramics. If you go from F1 to F1, it's a huge difference because the F1 and the 430 is significantly improved over the 360. But manual to manual, they both feel like go-karts. You know, so
Yeah.
the
I don't
360
think it's
as a manual it's a go-kart. It's super fun. And then the same thing's true of the 430. The 430 is a 500 horsepower go-kart instead of a 400 horsepower go-kart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I can't personally say I haven't driven a 430 stick. I've driven F1 430. I would go for the stick 360. So looks, and then I guess if you can get your hands on driving one.
Yeah, the looks is the department where it's subjective. If you think the 360 looks better than the 430, do the 360. If you think the 430 looks better than the 360, do the 430.
Yep.
You know, but they're effectively mostly the same car except for the engine and transmission.
Yeah.
And brakes.
I mean, at that point, is it worth jumping to a 458 if you can find one?
Yeah.
I mean, there's certainly a big gap there, right? And
Yep.
the difference between a 360 and a 458 is like,
Well, that's
Yeah.
a good discussion. Hey, Josh.
yeah, totally different.
Thanks, Jocko.
Yep.
What did I miss?
We had a good
I'm still eating
conversation.
dinner.
Yeah.
Still
I
eating that
just
stuff?
I just had to make the kids dinner and like
Ah.
go over their homework and crap with them.
And people were
here's a good
bitching
one.
because I was eating dinner during it. So I'm going to eat another chip so everyone can hear it.
Yep.
We can just not do it if you guys want.
So yeah, what are the options on 458s? I know the carbon seats are a big one. Lift if it's important.
Are we
to
talking
you.
like must-haves?
Yeah.
Rear camera.
Yeah, rear
Oh
camera.
yeah. Definitely want to try to get the carbon dash vents and carbon dash trim
Carbon steering wheel.
and carbon
Yeah.
steering wheel for sure.
Shift lights, are those standard
get-
or
If you get the carbon wheel, it's on them.
you want those?
Yeah. It's funny because when you see enough of them, especially when you see so many in person, and then you see one that doesn't have the carbon wheel, you're just like, ugh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
like I can't
Yeah,
take it.
it's,
No,
it's nasty.
Just
Nasty.
over plastic, like oh
nah,
Like that's a Thrustmaster wheel from Best Buy.
it does look like that.
yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
gaming
Uh,
wheel.
And I feel bad saying that because someone might have that in this chat.
No,
but
I mean
it's
it's
still
different. It's the perspective is totally different when you've been around hundreds or thousands of Ferraris and you've driven them all and you look down on one versus if you're
I
just
mean-
getting into it and look like
this is
you
because
Honestly,
we're
though,
spoiled.
if you
Yeah.
if it was your first Ferrari and you hadn't seen any other ones, you
Wouldn't
wouldn't
care.
even notice. It wouldn't
Exactly.
even matter.
like
It's still
would
a
not-
Ferrari.
exactly.
Yep, would not care. This is when you're nitpicky because you've seen hundreds plural of them,
Yeah.
and you're like narrowing
them.
down what you like and dislike about them, right?
Yep.
So it's funny because everyone always says that axle lift is a requirement, and I actually
Nah.
the more
I mean,
and
it's
more-
cool to have, but I don't think it's required.
it's not like having had a car or had multiple cars with it. It doesn't save your ass as much as you think.
Yeah, it seems very location dependent too.
It is.
Or like
Because you have to be in a
You need it in
situation
your
where you're
driveway.
driving really slow. Hey,
Yeah.
Turkey, what's going on,
like
buddy?
I haven't run into any issues where I bottom out
Yeah.
front or back. Well,
You should
not
be
the back,
asleep
but-
by now, bud. We're in for a rough one tonight. he was sitting there and he was in the other room, and we came into the room and he was passed out at like 7:30. We're like, oh
yeah, when
no,
that happens, they stay up all night.
we're screwed tonight. I was
Oh.
like, no.
And then they sleep in the morning, and
Yeah.
it starts this cycle of like you have to force them to get up early or force them to go to bed early.
Hi.
Hi.
What's up, homie?
Hi.
Can you read that? What's that say?
Oh.
Tyler.
Hey, dude.
Can you spell Tyler?
T.
T.
1/5 of the way there.
Okay. You're getting shy suddenly. It's like I lost interest.
Yep.
Oh. Okay. Do you want a chip, bro? I don't know if you like those ones.
Sebastian, come on.
I think you're right on this. I think it kind of set the stage for all the cool cars that came after it too. It'll never be as rare or as valuable though because they made so many of them, but it definitely changed things for Ferrari.
Yep. There's no plans to upgrade.
I don't think it's worth the extra money, honestly.
No. It's mostly
It's
looks.
not worth
at that
another
point.
100. It's not worth another $100 plus
No.
$1,000.
Yeah, the performance difference is negligible at that point.
Yeah.
I do think the F8 looks better, but I don't think it's
Yeah.
worth that much money to
Right.
upgrade.
Agree. And yes, someone asked about a video again. I'll do it eventually.
Oh, someone
Driving
on
video.
Instagram asked, "Is that the Josh that helped me today?"
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I talked to probably
Very-
10 people today, so
very-
maybe.
On
Were you happy?
is Aiden Trent.
Oh yeah, he
Trent-
bought IPE headers for a 430.
Yeah.
That's,
Nice.
then
Yeah.
yes, it is. Oh yeah. I remember that call.
Yeah.
I always think it's funny because people call us, and then when we answer the phone, like, "Oh, this is you from the YouTube channel or whatever." Like, well, it's
Yeah.
either me or Josh.
They're like, I wasn't
Yeah.
prepared.
So yeah, it is.
No magic phone service.
Hi, you're back.
He's
There's
on
a
the prowl.
gremlin.
Yep.
It's like, heck no,
You should do
I'm
the
not-
S line for the 430. It's the best sounding one, I think. I think everybody would agree with you on that.
It's pretty strongly, like, it's pretty epic.
How about 360? Have you heard it? Do you have an
S-line-
updated opinion on the latest full setup for 360 exhaust setup?
I haven't
So-
heard too many with like a full. Like when I had my 360, I had Fab Speed headers on it, and I had a Tubi rear section, and it had a really good sound to it. It wasn't very loud, but it had a
Yeah.
really like refined sound to it. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't really. We've heard the Klein on a 360 we did, and it sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Klein's
I
pretty
remember
good.
too.
I mean, the S line on 360.
Capristo
sound.
on the 360 sounds pretty good.
I remember doing Stu's Klein.
Oh, it's loud.
That thing
Yeah.
was crazy.
That's the interesting thing is I feel like sometimes the 360s and 430s don't sound better with cat deletes.
Right.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like, when you do headers, it's almost like sometimes you want Sport Cats to kind of tone it down a tiny bit.
Yeah.
I would
'cause
agree
they
with
get-
that. I think Sport Cats 200 cell Sport Cats on the 430 is the best way to go.
Yeah, and the 360.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Well,
right.
at some
Started.
point, maybe I'll do that.
Why did I sell my 430? Well, I wasn't planning on it, but somebody made me an offer that was
Oh.
too good to turn down.
Nice.
So I mean, it sucks. It makes me sad because the car's pretty much perfect in my opinion. But you know,
Wow.
if somebody makes you,
background.
if somebody offers you a decent amount, then it's hard to say no.
Heck yeah. When was that? Was that in the past week or
It
so?
was like a week ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the clutch failed on it. The throw out or not throw out bearing. Figured it out today. It's the slave cylinder failed.
So it's not a stupid question, but no, the carbon wheel is available without carbon seats. They're
Yeah,
independent.
you could option them separately.
And then for the Rift thing, I mean, it is silly that they don't have pictures, but they don't. It's made to order, and it's an older car, right? So they don't sell a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
And so if they don't have pictures of it, they can't get pictures of it until one gets made. And the only way that one gets
It's
made,
for a Gallardo or something?
yeah, it's for a guy.
I mean, you're not going to see it anyway. Who cares what it looks like? It's about what it sounds like.
Well, that's the problem
It's
with Rift,
buried in
right?
there.
I feel like a lot of titanium stuff, people are like, it's purple. You know?
Yeah.
And so they're like, I
Yeah.
want a purple exhaust. But
I
it's
mean,
like,
the
well,
tips will probably have that burnt titanium to them, but the whole muffler on the Gallardo is covered up. Can't
Yeah.
see anything.
Yeah.
I feel like there's better options than titanium for exhaust anyway. Like, if you're going to spend titanium money, do Inconel.
Yeah.
I agree. Sounds better.
It's a way better material.
Here's someone was asking the miles when I bought the 48, and it was around 6,500. But we talked about this, and no matter what, like no matter how hard or how much I drive that car, it'll always be a low mile car because it's 10 years old, 9 years old, and it's only got 7,000 miles on it,
Yeah. Unless you drove it like 20,000 miles in 1 year.
which isn't going to happen. So,
Right.
Nice. That's a good spot to be in, Tyler.
so yeah, I don't really mind. I don't even care about the miles, to be honest.
Oh, did you ever figure out how you're getting to the Dragon?
No, we
Why
haven't figured that out
I
yet.
thought that said it's Tyler training for the Dragon.
I read that too. I read the same thing. I was like, training? Oh, trail or okay.
Well, it must be on some simulator, maybe a Assetto Corsa or something. You could download
Oh, that'd be
it.
interesting. Yeah, I wonder if it is.
Dan and Josh, do you have special names for each other at the shop? Yeah. Hey, Josh.
Dumbass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dickhead
Probably.
and dumbass.
Yeah. Hey, asshole. What is this? You know, like, I don't know. No. We don't
No.
have pet names for each other.
Beavis.
Beavis. Anyone got experience with the Savior X-Bike? No.
I wouldn't buy anything called Savior, though.
Yeah.
Hey, he
Oh,
corrected it to
Avoy.
Aviator.
Avi-
Avoyer? Whatever.
No,
Oh,
either way.
No, I haven't heard
Yeah.
of that either.
It's probably a cheap Chinese knockoff.
So yes, it basically on a 430, changing it to a manual increases the value of the car about the cost of the manual. So typically $20,000-ish increase in the value of the car. So there you go.
That's probably if you buy it closest to when it was converted, right? Versus like if you convert it and then wait a couple of years.
I mean, who knows what's going to happen in a couple of years, right?
Right.
It makes sense, right? Because when you first got the conversions, there was so much demand for the conversions, and you only had really like one company doing it, and so it was like a huge wait list, and the
Mhm.
company turned out to be a bunch of frauds and whatever. So now there's multiple companies doing it. There's multiple options on it. It's becoming more commoditized, and
Yep.
so that means like you can get one within a reasonable amount of time, so it doesn't have this huge premium for the wait.
Right.
You know, so if you want to go out and buy a 430 and get it converted, you can probably accomplish that within months instead of years. And so it no longer has this huge premium because it's available, which makes sense.
Mhm.
Oof.
This is a good question
Oh,
because
I was
probably
pulling up the same one. Oof.
probably a lot because it's a bitch.
I've done it. It's a multi-day job.
Oof.
It's going to be thousands of dollars. I'm going to say probably $2,000 to $3,000 for the labor.
So batch in some other service, right?
The other, the thing to consider would be like the variators, because you've got the valve covers off.
Yep.
I mean, you have to replace. I guess that'd be a great time to do spark plugs too.
Yeah,
So-
I gotta take them out.
You got to take out the coils anyway.
Yep.
So you might I would combine it with plugs.
The 430 is easier than the 599, but it's still a bitch on the 430
It's still
too
a
because you
full-
got to take, you have to
Yeah.
take all the airbox and everything out, and you have to take the A-frame out. So
Yeah.
it's not fun. It's probably what, a day and a half on the 430.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably like a $2,000 job.
Yeah.
for the labor. I mean, the parts are $200-300.
Yeah,
And
it's
again,
not
you
bad.
might as well combine it with spark plugs.
Yeah.
And then if you want to do the variators, that's the time to do it. But the variators are expensive. Those are $1,000 each, or $1,000+ each.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I mean, that's $4,000 plus. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pricey.
Dang.
So it turns
But
into
the good thing is it's all like known stuff. It's not some mystery to get all this work done on these cars. It's just tedious.
Yeah. The biggest pain in the ass with the 5 to 9 is making sure that the gaskets are seated properly when putting them back on, because
Yeah.
like there's less clearance between the back of the engine and the firewall than there is on like the 430s between the engine and the firewall. There's a pretty good gap because you got to consider on the 430 it's the front of the engine mating the firewall, so you've got all the belts and pulleys and crap sticking
Right.
off the front, so you've got a gap. On the 5 to 9 it's the back of the engine, so it's like
It's
close to the
slammed in there.
firewall.
I mean, the engine is set back. It's like a front mid engine, so it's set back a little bit. So there's room in the front once you take all that crap out of the way. The
Yeah.
problem is it's tucked back in there, so the valve cover is like tucked underneath, almost underneath the windshield a little bit. It's like wedged in there.
No, we don't have any Enzo customers.
I wish.
Honestly, I don't
We
even
had
know
a
if
guy
I'm gonna
email
touch
us
one.
today asking us if we could find him an F40 though.
Oh yeah, he
Did
did.
you see that email?
I think he meant 430.
Maybe. It said
'Cause the way-
F40. I was like, okay.
If he was saying F40 with the way the wording was on the email, I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
looking
think English
170
was his
tops.
First language.
I'm like, red flags.
1.7 million. Yeah, if we could probably find one for
Yeah.
that, it's going to be rough.
Yeah.
So we don't really do location services anymore. It just doesn't. It's not efficient.
We can definitely, if you find something, we can definitely go and look at it for you though. But we don't go and search for cars.
Yeah,
for,
we tried
for you
it.
anymore.
And it did not work. It's way too much time sink, and it's not a good experience for the client, and it doesn't make us any money, so it's a lose-lose situation. So we just stopped doing it.
Mm.
Yeah, at the moment we only have one. We have Alan helping us out in the shop. I mean, we will add more as needed if it happens. So I mean, I would assume yes, over some period of time we will definitely have more help, but I don't know when that will be. We've clearly slow rolled our business very intentionally and try to do it without taking on crazy debt or massive internal or external investment or whatever. Like, we've only got one investor at this moment, and the amount of money that he's put in is way less money than I've personally put in. So I mean, honestly, actually the biggest debt we have is to me right now.
Good.
Which is great, because if it goes under, it's on me. It's my company. I screwed
I
that
love
one up.
questions like this.
What one?
Whoops. This guy here. I hope he's not serious. We don't want
No,
you as
Daniel's never
a
serious.
customer if that's serious.
Yeah. No and no.
Is his
Daniel
name
likes
Luigi?
Twilight.
Well, how many hours would you say he's putting in on average, or having to put in
I
per
mean,
week? Is it like full time,
It's like
or
20 hours a
Okay.
week or something like that.
what's
Somewhere
that, like
around
a
there.
few cars?
it's
Basic
as
stuff?
needed. So like, it's actually working out pretty good, because we're not to the point where we have like full-time service needs yet.
Hmm.
And so for us to have a full-time service person would not make sense. We'd be paying for them to sit around and do nothing. And so that doesn't make sense. So basically the way we've worked it out is like, hey, we have this project. Do you want to do it? Sure. When can you do it? Probably this time to this time. Okay, great.
Yeah. There's no EGR air injection on the 430. It's only on the Scud. And on the 360 has it too, but not the 430.
Secondary air, not EGR. There is EGR.
I think he's talking about the
Secondary
air injection ports on
Right.
the headers. Yeah,
Right.
there
but
is
that's
none
not
on the 430.
the EGR is not the secondary air. The EGR doesn't
Right.
go on the headers.
Yeah.
But yeah, the regular 430, the secondary air is not a part of the headers, or it's not an air rail like it is on the Scud or the 360s.
There you go.
He makes pasta and homemade spaghetti sauce, so he is part-time for now. Do you think it's a good time to buy a Forfait Italia? Yeah.
It's always a good time to buy one.
Yeah, it's always right. It's always a good time. There's never a bad time for a 458, but yeah, I think they're particularly cheap right now.
No, you don't have to block anything off on the EGR.
No.
You just put the headers on. That's it.
Headers on the 430 are actually fairly simple.
They
They're
just crack.
right. Well, I mean, replacing the headers on the 430 is fairly simple. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah.
Of the header,
Well,
we were joking
it's
about
really
that today.
it's a lot easier than doing a Scud or a 458
Or
even a
360.
360. Yeah. It's probably the easiest out of the bunch.
Yep. So yeah, you missed the 150K 458 days. That ship's gone.
How do you tell when the clutch is about to go when it starts to slip?
I mean, if you have an F1
If the
car,
clutch-
you can read the computer.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
If the clutch ain't slipping, don't be tripping.
What's the update on CNC Motors owner? I haven't heard anything in months.
Hmm.
I know he was supposed to go to trial at some point this year. I don't know if that's happened or not. I haven't really been paying attention, to be honest. Yeah, the steering on the 458 is very light. It's very touchy. It's very sensitive, but I feel like once you get used to it, you really like it.
It's
that's fair.
interesting going from a 430 to a 458, how much different it is. It feels totally different.
Can you
I
disable the
personally-
power steering
I
on
personally like the
these cars?
458 better, but you
I don't
could.
think you would not want to on the 458 because its steering ratio is so tight that it'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
very, very heavy.
Well, maybe at speed it would feel good.
At speed, it would probably feel pretty good. Yeah. Yes, I've driven in 296 and they're pretty damn fast.
Not as fast as an SF90 though.
No,
The
Well, I'd hope not.
SF90 is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
but I do like that it's smaller.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know.
All
We
right.
had a debate about this the other day. I personally like the SF90 better, the way it looks, and Dan likes the 296. What did you say, Tyler? You like the 296 too?
I
Or the
like the looks of the
SF90?
296, but I haven't driven
Okay.
one, so I don't know. But
Yeah,
Okay.
performance of the SF90 for sure, but the looks
Yeah.
of the 296 I think is better. We see trans conversions happening. Do you guys see anything else being swapped on certain models in future aside from transmission? So no one's swapping transmissions. Just to remind you, the conversions are a conversion where you use the same transmission and change the way that it's shifted. But
What do you mean? Like it's changing the engines or something?
yeah, I mean, what?
I mean, dropping hybrid.
No.
maybe hybrid delete.
Yeah, hybrid deletes, but only I can
I
think
can
of.
see that. I can see hybrid deletes on a SF90 or a 296 or
Be
something.
a
But
dog, but yeah.
yeah, it would kill the performance.
Well, maybe not if you drop in all that weight from the battery and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know,
I don't know.
but I honestly no, I don't. No, is the short answer, I guess.
All right, so let's
See, there you
hijack.
go.
Oh yeah, let's
That would
hijack
be
this
a-
for a sec.
That would be cool, but
Oh.
I don't know if that's possible.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Okay, yeah, we're getting close to the barbecue.
Comment slowed down. Yeah. So
It's March 22nd. It's a Saturday. Did I get that right? March 22nd.
I think
yes.
so.
I'm gonna double check the calendar. real quick. I'm gonna be telling people the wrong day. Yes, March 22nd.
Okay.
Barbecues at noon. If the weather is nice, a drive at 10 a.m. Meeting at the stub first. But it's $25, which is going towards the cost of food. 25 per person.
Because we're doing it up. We're doing it up. Tyler's hooking it up.
Yeah. Well,
Tyler's-
so this is why I want to bring it up because I have a question for the group.
Okay.
So menu brisket, obviously.
Yeah.
Texas
Yeah.
style brisket.
Got it.
Kevin would kill me if I didn't do corn mac.
Yeah.
Barbecue beans with
Yes.
homemade bacon.
Yes.
Coleslaw.
Well, so that was one of the questions: salad or coleslaw?
I think you're better off with coleslaw over salad
Okay.
because there was
Yeah.
no one really ate the salad last time.
No, we went through almost all of it.
We did.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I didn't eat any salad. It's a barbecue. Why are you eating salad? Like, come on.
Well, you gotta have something veggie. So
Yeah,
the salad was just easy.
We don't have to.
Corn.
Well,
That's a vegetable.
you gotta have
Sort of.
something acidic to break up all the fatty. meat,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And to answer Greg, like look up a Snickers salad. It's a Midwest thing, but
Hmm.
it's just.
Oh, Jocko,
king.
that doesn't sound good.
Yep. Oh yeah.
What?
Oh no, Jacko.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Come on out,
Okay.
Jago.
Hopefully,
What's up?
it's not
Here's-
over a Ferrari.
Yeah. Right.
You're done
Here's the
racing.
last.
so come on.
Here's the last question.
Yeah.
Sausage is a ton of work, but I can do it.
Oh, that's my favorite, Tyler, and I'm not even gonna be there.
It's
But-
pretty legit.
We
Then
could
you
do.
shut your mouth, Gabe.
I'm getting hungry, man. My mouth is watering.
There's options. We could do in no order, but the one no one is gonna want first. We could do a pulled chicken,
No.
pulled
Yeah.
pork,
Maybe.
ribs.
Yes.
Yes. Ribs are expensive.
Ribs are
What kind
expensive.
of ribs? What kind of ribs?
I like St. Louis style pork ribs.
Ribs are for a bunch of people. That's very expensive.
Well,
Yeah.
hopefully you got to make sure they only take one or two. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of ration them. Pork belly burnt ends,
Oh.
or we could do like a spiced smoked meatball. It's like a sausage without the casing.
Oh damn. I mean, I'll be honest. Your sausage was okay. This sounds.
My vote is
Why do you
for
I don't like that? Damn it.
Got him.
No.
Tell us about his sausage. Yeah.
Oh, your sausage is so good. Damn it. Why do I have to say that? All
Is
right.
it
well,
spicy?
your
I mean, we can do whatever you
barbecue
want.
Sausage is very good. I don't know
Well,
that
if we do
helps or not.
sausage, I want to do because I've got so much beef trim from the last barbecue.
Mm.
I would do all beef, probably jalapeno and cheddar.
Okay.
Hell
That's a
yeah,
shitload
that
of
sounds
work.
good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you want
Do
to
we need
employ
to
us?
pay you extra?
You don't have to. Well, hopefully all the money.
It sounds like you don't want to do it.
Oh, but dude, however much money we collect, 100% of it minus the taxes goes to you.
Well, and whatever you buy on drinks, but
Oh yeah, we still got to do that.
We'll
Crap.
just get a couple cases of beer.
Yeah.
get
we'll
that
just-
kegerator. Just get a keg.
Oh,
That's true. We could get a keg. We should fix that thing up and
yeah.
get it going for the party.
Keg of
See,
Miller
that's
Lights,
perfect.
probably $150.
Yeah. Oh, dude, we should just buy a keg.
Michelob
and-
Ultra.
Oh, yeah.
Nicola's more
Gotta
expensive.
be
Well,
Ultra.
Tyler,
I'll pay
what
the extra. I don't care.
what do
Yeah.
you want to cook? Out of all those things, what do you want to cook? Because you're making it.
Well, sausage is fun. It's just pain in the ass.
Do you want to try something new?
Kinda. Logistics. Ribs would suck.
Yeah.
Just space on the smoker and timing
And,
stuff.
and it costs is
Yeah.
a
I don't
lot.
know. Meatballs sound fun just because it's sausage without casing it.
Mm.
But I don't
You do the sausage and the balls.
know. Right? Just for Dan.
Thank you.
Fix them up a nice
Do a
plate.
half and half. Just like mix it up a little bit.
Oh, man. Well, definitely. It's
Why don't
tough.
you surprise us?
Oh shit.
I mean, you
Hmm.
already got all the basics, so this is really just an
Well, I
add-on.
think part of it also depends how many people are coming, right?
Well, yeah, that's true too. So that's kind
So
of why I
far-
also want to talk about this.
I haven't
We're
even
gonna have
looked how
dad
many.
beer there too. So if you want some like IPA shit or whatever, bring your own. BYOB.
Or you
We
could
will
just
not
do
have any fancy stuff.
a limited run of something like ribs or something. So you get there, encourage people to get there soon. If it runs out, it runs out.
I need to look up how many
This is a valid question right here.
Ah,
Oh,
trying to
dang
hide.
it. This,
Damn it. All right, you to go.
What's going on? Well, what is
Well,
it?
it depends. It depends on your audience. So
What would Dan want?
I'm not even going there.
Jerks.
This is what I was trying to click on. Sweetbreads would be interesting. I've never cooked those, so we'll see.
So far, it's only 14 people.
Oh, wow.
That have paid in.
Okay.
So it's pretty chill this time.
Yeah, so we're not going to need much of anything. Shit.
I mean, I haven't been pushing it very hard this time, and it's not. The
I think
grand
it'd be
opening.
better to just keep it low key, anyways.
I mean, hey, if we only get like 20-ish people, then everyone can park on the asphalt and
Yeah.
destroy our asphalt.
I mean, 40's a
30.
good number. More than 40's hard, but
Yeah. Well, I had it limited to 40. So, but
all right. Well, okay. So hopefully that'll drive some people to sign up.
and that guy's cousin knows a guy that can get you eggs.
We have farms all around us. We could get fresh eggs from.
Yeah.
They sell them on the corner of the street.
Right
near
up the street from
downtown
our
area.
shop.
Yeah, right up the street.
Oh man, no, that sounds amazing. But
Yes.
I have that thing on Saturday.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I want to go to that or not. I'll let you know.
What thing?
That big event thing.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going
Out
to
and
that.
dripping. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna schmooze. I'm gonna suffer. I'm taking one for the team
This.
because this is not my.
Get your Gucci pants ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. How many people were at the grand opening? Jeez, 80.
It was a
That's a
lot.
good one.
Yeah, it was
That's
a
a
pretty
good
good turnout.
It was,
That was a
Pretty
great weekend.
Yeah.
and then we had that Ferrari barbecue for the Ferrari Club, and I bet 50 people.
Yeah, it's probably 50.
We should probably plan another one of those.
Yeah.
Talk
Yeah.
to Ed.
Oh, as long as we're talking about events and stuff, if the thing we're doing at the Dragon goes well, believe it or not, Meg was like, "You should do more of those." I was like, "Really?
Wow.
Okay." And so I was like, "Well, you know what? I don't think we would necessarily want to go to the Dragon twice in the same year." So here was my thinking. What if we did a second event in Colorado, but we do it the same style as the Dragon, where basically we find a hotel that's willing to work with us and get them to block out the entire hotel, and everyone does their own reservations, their own crap, and we don't organize a damn thing.
We definitely got to do Colorado again, though.
That sounds amazing. Would it
I mean,
not be a lot more cost with the hotels?
I mean, the hotels are probably more expensive than the Dragon for sure.
Oh yeah.
I guess you're not talking like Telluride condos,
Right. The
right?
Telluride condos are.
Well, if you want to
astronomically-
stay in a Telluride condo, you can.
I'm just thinking if you get a block at a high end place, you're probably gonna
Well,
have people.
So we looked at different options. I was talking to my brother about it actually because he knows Colorado, and there's a few places that we were like, these would probably work because they're kind of located. So first of all, here's one problem in Colorado versus the Tail of Dragon. Everything's going to be a bit of a drive to get to the good roads, right? There's nothing that's like right in the middle of all the roads because all the roads are very long. So like, for example, if you want to go do the $1 Million Highway, like you could stay in Ouray, but there's like, nothing in Ouray. So
It's still a pretty cool drive out there, though.
Right. So you're going to have to drive an hour to get to the $1 Million Highway to go do a big loop. So it's going to be an all-day drive. But where could you be that you could do an all-day drive out and back? And that pretty much limits you to Telluride, Ridgeway, a few areas like that. There's a few cities that have hotels that are big enough to handle a group. So that's what I was thinking of. Something in that general area. And again, I think you do it like you do this Dragon Drive, where you have it be in the middle of the week, no weekends. That way you don't have to worry about the traffic. It's like show up on a Monday, drive Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, leave Friday. So you get 3 days of driving. And then if other people want to do other crap, then figure it out on your own. I don't give a crap, right?
Yeah.
So the biggest challenge is finding a hotel that either has the capability of allowing trailers to park, or there's somewhere nearby that you could park your trailers safely. That's the big challenge, because there's 100% probability that people will bring trailers. So,
Or we
Pikes
could
Peak
find
is
a place
cool,
where everybody
but-
could park their trailer and leave it there.
right. So Pikes Peak is great, except for there's nowhere really close by that there's a bunch of roads. You have to drive a while to get to the cool roads. And Pikes Peak is actually kind of boring once you've done it like 6 times, because you're going slow.
Yeah, it is. And nobody seems to be able to breathe when you get to the top.
Dude, I remember when we were going up, we stopped, I got out, and I was seeing black spots. I was like, I'm glad I'm not driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the other side, so like you kind of got Front Range, or you've got kind of like,
You don't want to
more-
be in the Front Range. There's so
Yeah,
much traffic to get into the mountains in time.
and that's why I'm leaning more towards like the Telluride area.
Yeah.
But I feel like Telluride itself is probably not capable of handling that type of group. Like the trailers are going to be almost impossible, and the hotels are going to be very expensive.
Yeah.
We could
Even
try
for,
to
like-
maybe find like a Airbnb or something that has property.
Nope. So the Airbnbs are out, because now we're fronting the money for something.
No, I mean just for us.
Oh,
We get one
for
that
us.
has property that people could park, and then they have to, stay somewhere else or whatever. I don't know, just a thought.
Well, I mean, you kind of would want everyone to kind of be at the same place, hopefully, or same-ish place.
Yes, this was super fun, Jocko. This is where
Yeah.
Jocko convinced me to race cars
Oh yeah.
back in the Colorado
Nice.
tour. I mean, I told him I wanted to, and he's like, "Go do it. Go to racing."
Yeah.
Yep.
So the catch
Yeah, we
is,
could go on a.
it's not going to be a tour. It's not going to be the same. Like, again, I want it to be like we're doing the Dragon, where it's zero stress for me. I'm not arranging anything. I'm not taking anyone's money. You're on your own. If you call me and say, "What are we doing today?" I'm going to tell you to piss off. Like, no.
Dan, where's
thank-
breakfast?
I'm like, figure it out. Go find your own breakfast. I don't give a shit.
Those were good
You
egg
know?
sandwiches.
Yeah, like, not my problem. I'm not doing any of that. I'm done with that, right? Not doing that again, ever. Because we lost our ass trying to do it last year, and it was stressful as hell, and I still lost money on it. So no.
Well, if you do it, you could do it in the fall, which is
Right.
the
And that was my
beautiful
thinking,
time
is
in Colorado.
time it for the same timing that we originally do the tour, because then you get to see all the leaves changing. So it's just absolutely stunningly beautiful. Reasonably low risk of snow, although we still had snow that one time.
Yep.
So yeah. There's certainly a lot of other places. People are saying like Ozarks, Smoky Mountains, all that stuff. The problem is I don't know any of those places. I haven't driven any of them, so I don't want to. I'm not going to even remotely consider anything that I haven't been to. Because
Road trip.
right, yeah, I'm fine with like going to one of those places on our own first and seeing how cool it is and seeing if we can find something that makes sense. But
Yeah.
for us to try and say, hey, let's all go to this place and let's all meet up, and then it's like, oh, this sucks. Right? So like the Dragon Tour, we stayed at that hotel last year, and then we drove the roads that we're going to drive this year. So we know what's going on.
Yep.
Oh, well, that's funny.
Oops.
Well, you know what? Give him the $50. Like, come on, it's $50. It's 1%. Consider it tip. You know when you go check out on everything that has give me a tip now. There's this tip.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's annoying
Oh lordy.
tip thing.
Oh dude. Huh. But anyway, that was kind of my thinking, and feel free to noodle that. Maybe we talk about that again. Obviously, we should talk about that because I just kind of this all kind of evolved this week, and believe me, I was shocked when Meg was like, "If this tour, the dragon thing goes real well, you should do more of these." I'm like, "What?"
It's probably because you're not stressed out about it. And she's like, yeah, I can get Dan out of the house.
Right? Yeah, like, haha, I can buy
Damn.
political capital so I can do something I want later.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's past 8 or 9:30, so thank you all for joining us again. Hope you enjoyed tonight's conversation. I have 4 videos I'm working on editing. Like I said, Saturday's video is very lengthy. If you are so inclined, please watch as much of it as you can tolerate of me talking, because that would be awesome. And hopefully that makes YouTube go, hooray. It's a gamble. But otherwise, and buy some stuff from us. We'd appreciate that. And we'll see you guys later.
right.
Bye.
See you, everybody.
Later.